And later tonight, we'll see the defending national champions and #1 team in the country looking to defend its crown. But only one of these three can advance. Who's it going to be? Hello and welcome into the mountains of upstate of South Carolina as we get set for Game 1 of the Tigerville Regional between the #5 seeded Georgia Southwestern Hurricanes, champions of the Peach Bell, and the #4 seeded Mount Olive Trojans, tournament champions out of Conference Carolinas. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Timothy Holcomb, and it's an absolute pleasure to be able to bring you all the action from Ray M. B. Dillard Field, Ashmore Park on the campus of North Greenville University. So here's how the bracket's going to line up. Got today's game here between Mount Olive and Georgia Southwestern. Loser of this one will have to play again tonight. Estimated first pitch time for that one is 7:30. Of course, it's either that or 45 minutes to an hour after the conclusion of this one. The winner is in a little bit of a driver's seat. They get the rest of the night off. They get to go back to the hotel. Winner is going to play North Greenville tomorrow night at 7:30. What that'll be for will be determined later tonight. Again, the winner of this game is in the driver's seat at 1-0. The loser is in a really tough position. They have to turn right around and play for their postseason lives. And on top of that, they're going to have to do it against the #1 team in the country. Now, one thing that that Mount Olive and Georgia Southwestern have going for them, both of them come in winners of their conference tournament. Mount Olive did that. They lost their opening round game to UNC Pembroke and then steamrolled the rest of the way through, winning 4 straight, including outscoring their opponents on Championship Sunday 34-4. The Hurricanes of Georgia Southwestern, they won their conference tournament. They took care of business. In fact, they're winners of 8 straight, going back to their final regular season series of the year against Flagler. They've won 8 straight. That's one thing that both these teams have that North Greenville, at the #1 seed in the Southeast Regional and the host here, they do not have going for them. They went 2 and done in the conference tournament. We'll talk about that more later tonight. And as you get a look at Hunter Stevens there for Mount Olive on the mound, this is his 9th appearance, 7th game started, 16 and a third innings, 16 hits, 4 runs, 9 of which earned, 10 walks at 24 strikeouts. Opponents batting at .250 on the right-hander Hunter Stevens. In limited action for him this year, he made his way back from Tommy John surgery, had a successful 2021 campaign, but found himself having Tommy John a year ago. So slowly making his way back, looking to probably pitch him about 4-ish innings today. As you get a look, now here's the lineup for Georgia Southwestern. Hurricanes coming this one 34-17. You get Jake Blindstrom batting first, will be Miles Hartsfield, then Corey Lee, Calvin Alexander, Reed Ragsdale, Garrett Bradley, George Davis, Paul Hedgeman, and then Chris Patterson, all in support of Nick McCollum here this afternoon. Get a look at the defensive alignment for the Trojans of Mount Olive. Out and left is Vito Paterno. Dylan Jeffries in center, Landon Choboy in right. Alden Cotto over at third, Joshua Jones at short, Jack Casparo at second, Cooper George at first, and Mike Kinney behind the plate. Umpires for today's game: behind the plate, Danny Everett. Over at first base, Kevin Spivey. Second base, Dan Andrews. And over at third, Bobby Dunnigan. Let's play some ball as the first pitch. Swinging away is Blindstrom, and we're underway. 3:34, first pitch here in Tigerville, South Carolina. Here's the 0-1. Fastball sails outside, count even at 1-1. 68 degrees here at first pitch. Stevens is 1-1. Allen sails high and out too, 2-1. 2-1. That was a little lower, but still outside. 3-1. Blindstrom batting .343 on the year. And a hitter-friendly count here. That one's nowhere near, and it's a leadoff walk for Blindstrom. Got to keep an eye on Blindstrom over there as well. Leads the team in stolen bases with 22. He's only been caught 5 times. So here's Miles Hartsfield, the shortstop. Miles batting .296 on the year, 1 home run, 24 runs batted in. Check on Blindstrom there, back easily. Another check on Blindstrom. And as I mentioned, this is the matchup of tournament champions. The Hurricanes with Georgia Southwestern out of the Peach Belt, Mount Olive out of Conference Carolinas. So yet to find it, as you have, again, 5 of the first 6 pitches have been for balls. And 16-plus inning pitch. He has issued 10 free passes, has Stevens. That one misses as well, 2-0. Get your friendly count here. The 2-0. That's outside as well. 3-0. 7 of the first 8 pitches have missed for Stevens thus far. It's just a little bit of nerves trying to settle him down. See if he can try to settle himself down here. Sumi taking all the way. 3-0 is outside as well. Ball 4. Back-to-back free passes. So here's Corey Lee. And we're going to get an early mound visit. Just kind of try to calm down Hunter Stevens. He's just, he's overthrowing. He's missing outside arm side a lot. And Hunter Stevens has got really good stuff. His fastball sits about 93 to 95 on best of days. But talking with the people from Mount Olive, they definitely said when he's in the zone, he's really tough to hit. But there are times where he will get a little wild. For Corey Lee, he's batting .264 on the year. 1 home run, 32 runs batted in. Early chance here for the Hurricanes. Fastball, that one misses just outside, 1-0. And 8 of the first 9 pitches for Stevens thus far have been out of the zone. Here's the 1-0. That one's right there. Even the count up at 1-1. The 1-1. It's hit on the ground, right to third. Caldwell will take it to the bag, throw over to first, and did he hold the bag? He did. Double play. Ball was hit right at Cottle over there at third. He simply stepped on the bag and threw a strong throw over to first. And just like that, there's 2 away. So here's Calvin Alexander. Alexander with a .223 batting average. Leads the team with 9 home runs on the year, 35 runs batted in. Pitch looked like it was in her half, but must have just missed inside. Big hole on the right side if he elects to go that way. Took a big hack at that one, came up empty. The Southwestern team that's not really known for their home run ball, only 37 on them the entire year. Here's the 1-1 from Stevens. Came with a breaking ball, swung over the top of it, 1-2. So back-to-back walks to start things, but now Mr. Hunter Stevens out on the mound is one pitch away from getting out of it with no harm done. Again, here's the 1-2. Breaking ball almost came back and caught the inside corner, but good call there by Danny Everett. That was inside. Two's across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 2-2. Sky in the air to right field. Showboy now settling under it, and he's got it, and that will retire the side. A little early trouble there for Stevens, but he gets out of it with no runs on no hits and 1 runner left stranded. We played half an inning. It's Georgia Southwestern nothing. Mount Olive coming to bat.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess.
An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
Sophomore comes this one. This is his 15th start. He also has a save on the year. 9-2 record, 2.8 ERA, 106 innings pitched, 100 hits, 36 runs, 33 of which were earned, 19 walks, 109 strikeouts. Opponents batting 242 off of him. For 12, Nick McCollum. So here's Dylan Jeffries. Collins' first pitch breaking ball, misses inside. I'm Timothy Holcomb. Pleasure to be with y'all alongside Alan Cahaley.
Yep, good to be here. And for the Mount Olive fans that might be yelling at the screen already, we do know it's Jack Casbaro, so we'll get that right for the rest of the broadcast.
There you go. And Jeffries hit with a pitch. Pitch that just ran inside a little bit too far. So here's Vitor Paterno.
Yeah, Paterno, one of Mount Olive's biggest weapons, comes into the day with a .383 average.
Check on Jeffries over there at first. He's back easy.
On-base percentage of nearly 500 at .498 with 20 stolen bases. Jeffries is a threat to steal. He has 18 stolen bases of his own.
Not going there as a breaking ball. Didn't quite get on top of that one.
This is a Mount Olive team that comes in with a lot of speed, a lot of stolen bases on the year for these top 3 hitters especially.
And they got a lot of momentum, too, on their side as well.
Definitely. Conference Carolinas tournament champions.
Ran inside. He seems to think it clipped him.
Making the argument that it hit him.
Yeah, doesn't look he's going to get the call from Mr. Everett behind the plate. He did it so confidently, too.
Yeah. Now, just a reminder, we do have video review here.
We do.
For the regional tournament, so Mount Olive choosing not to challenge there. Still very early in the game, so you certainly don't want to lose a challenge this early.
Good looking pitch. I guess that missed just downstairs.
Home plate umpire Danny Everett.
He seems to have a little bit of a tight zone thus far for both sides. Another check on Jeffries. See if he's swinging 3-0. The 3-0, he is swinging. Fouls that one back, had a good hack at it.
Yeah, had the green light.
Jeffrey's dancing a little bit over there at first base, but he's back safely again. And there seems to always be a common theme here. Like the ball carries really well to right field and right center here. But yeah, the wind kind of blowing in from that direction. The 3-1, that one's down the right field line. Bradley drifting towards the line, makes the grab, and one away.
Yeah, that ball would have been fair, but nice job, nice range out there in right field. And yeah, the wind typically does blow in from right center field here at Ray and B. Dillard Field. It's been kind of swirling today. I was talking to North Greenville assistant coach J.K. Love earlier today when he was getting the mound prepared for today, and the wind was actually blowing the exact opposite. It was blowing out to right center field, but like Tigerville always, like it always goes.
There goes Jeffries off for second. Throw down is in time.
Nice caught stealing right there. That's Calvin Alexander behind the plate. Great arm there.
Yeah, he had a strong throw down there to get Jeffries. And for Jeffries, that's just his fourth time that he's been caught stealing on the air. That one misses, 2-0. Hitter-friendly count here, 2-0. Swinging away, that's drilled up the middle, and that's going to get through for a base hit. Thought for a second Hartsfield over there at short was going to have a beat on it, but it was just sizzling right by him.
Yeah, got just a little bit of a late jump there, but nice base hit there, and Mount Olive is in the hit column.
The first hit for either side today. It brings up Landon Choboy. Choboy, a senior, batting .380 on the year. 8 home runs and leads the team with 65 runs batted in. First pitch to him is in there, called strike one.
Casbaro, a big-time threat to steal, leads Mount Olive in stolen bases for the year, 30 of 34.
He's got about a 1.5 stride lead over there at first. Not going as the breaking ball is in there for strike two. That was a good hard breaking ball there from McCollum. 0-2, he's got plenty of pitches to work with. What, you think he comes with the breaking ball or he tries to elevate a fastball?
I'm going with the waist pitch outside fastball.
Did come with the fastball, missed downstairs.
I think that was actually a little closer to the zone than he wanted it. The catcher actually set up further outside, but almost threw a strike there.
That is the thing. With an 0-2 count, usually you want to try to make it somewhat enticing, but you'd never want to make it too good.
Yep. Setting up on the outside again. Instead, it's going to be a pickoff attempt.
Hurricane defense in the outfield, playing no doubles, obviously, with 2 outs and a runner on first. Here's the 1-2. Got him swinging, and that would retire the side. First strikeout of the game for McCollum. We played one here in Tigerville. It's 0-0. Head to the top half of the second inning here in Tigerville. Do it for the Hurricanes. It'll be Reed Ragsdale, DH for today's contest. Ragsdale, senior, batting .347 on the year, 3 home runs, 23 runs batted in. Stevens' first pitch to him, clips the outside corner, strike one. The 0-1 misses off the plate. And there's a lot of different philosophies in the way this game's being played between, just in this regional alone. Hurricanes towards the bottom of the country with only 37 home runs on the year. Mount Olive more towards the middle, 57. 2-1 misses downstairs, 3-1. Hitter-friendly count here, and definitely showed that one. I think he had full intentions of trying to park that one out there in right field.
Yeah, he wanted an early lead, that's for sure.
Instead, it's a full count. There's a 3-2 from Stevens. It's on the ground, going to be cut off by the third baseman, Cottle. Strong throw over first, in time, one away. So here's Garrett Bradley. Bradley, a freshman, batting .320 on the year. 1 home run, 15 runs batted in. His first pitch misses outside.
Yeah, Hunter Stevens struggling a little bit with his command to start off. It hadn't really been an issue for him this season, and 16 1/3 innings pitched, 10 walks, but 24 strikeouts.
Yeah, he's got good stuff. I was talking with some Mount Olive people, and they told me the fastball sits 93, 94, which, especially at the D2 level, that's really good. Mm-hmm. Can have command issues at times. And another 3-ball count.
He's already at 26 pitches, just 9 of them strikes. Make that 10.
Yep, make that one clip the inside corner. Still a hitter-friendly count here for Bradley. Slaps that one down the left field line, but it's tailing foul. That'll run full.
Yeah, the Hurricanes definitely being aggressive at the plate. That's a pitch that I think in most situations you would still have the red light, but they're letting their batters go after him.
Here's 3-2. It's outside, ball 4. It's already a 3rd walk of the game for Hunter Stevens. He walked the first 2 hitters in the first inning, but the Hurricanes weren't able to capitalize on it. Here's George Davis. Davis batting .152 on the year, just his 10th start of the year. That one misses upstairs, 1-0.
Yeah, not only is this only his 10th start, it's his 10th game played, period. 5 hits and 33 at-bats. Does have 2 doubles and a triple, though.
Got some pop if he can find an alleyway, especially out there in right center. A little bit of a hold that way. Goes towards right field. That's going to get down for a base hit in front of Choboy. Rounding first is Bradley on his way to third. He was going there standing up, and his runners on the corners for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, just kind of poke the bat out there, let it do its thing, and lands in fair territory, and he gets on base.
Yeah, you don't always have to hit it hard. You just got to sometimes hit it in the right place.
Yep, 6th hit of the season.
Sorry, the 4th base runner of the game for the Canes. That's their first hit. Here's Paul Hedgeman. Hedgeman batting .277 on the year. 2nd on the team at home runs with 5. Hegman pops that one up. That should be playable for Cottle, their 3rd. In foul territory, makes the grab. For Stevens, that's a big pitch. If you're the Hurricanes, that's not what you wanted.
Yeah, if you're Hegeman, I think you're probably, you're kind of looking down as you're going back to the dugout. You've got a guy out there struggling to throw strikes, and you swing at the first pitch, and innocent little foul ball pop-up to third base. That is not what the Hurricanes wanted there.
Here's Chris Patterson, the final hope for the Canes here in the top half of the second. Get a look at his numbers there. Fastball misses downstairs, 1-0. Again, a little bit of a shift. The second baseman for Mount Olive, just a few steps to the right of the second base bag. Tries to go the right side, fouls it off 1-1.
Patterson with a .230 average, but has drawn 21 walks throughout the season, and he's been hit by 7 pitches.
That'll definitely boost the on-base percentage for sure. The 1-1. Came inside, missed inside, 2-1.
And that was Stevens' 35th pitch already.
Yeah, I was told before the game, Mount Olive looks probably to try to get about 4 or 5 innings or so from Stevens. They have a lot of arms in their bullpen that they do feel comfortable about. 2-1. That misses as well. 3-1. Jake Blindstrom, the leadoff hitter, waits on deck. Your Stevens, you really do not want to walk the number 9 hole hitter.
Yeah, I think they're going to make him throw a strike here.
The 3-1. He is swinging away. That's to left field, but that's going to be right at the left fielder, Paterno. And that will retire the side. The Hurricanes put runners on the corners with 1 out, but they can't bring anybody home. Played 1.5. Still nothing. Game 1 of the Tigerville Regional between Georgia Southwestern and the Mount Olive Trojans. For the Trojans, it'll be Stone, George, and Cottle. And this is Southeast Regional number 1. Over in Southeast Regional 2, they're a little delayed. Obviously, a good amount of rain around the Carolinas today. Newberry and UNC Pembroke right now are scheduled for a 6 o'clock p.m. start. And it'll be Belmont Abbey and Columbus State later tonight. That one's poked down the left field line, but foul. The 0-1 from McCollum. Sails outside. Count even at 1-1.
Yeah, it's kind of the other side of the spectrum so far for McCollum. Just 15 pitches.
Missed arm side with that one, 2-1. It's going to be interesting to see because talking with each coaching staff, the Hurricanes have a lot more faith and longevity in their starters. That one's poked up the middle. Second baseman throws on the run in time, 1 away. Nice play there from Lee over there at second. But yeah, talking with their staffs, the starting rotation for these guys, again, got McCollum. Then they got a lefty that North Greenville's going to see later tonight. Excuse me if I say this wrong, but Ronaldo Houston will be most likely on the mound for them in the nightcap. Yeah, they got a 2-headed monster. Mount Olive's got a lot of arms in the bullpen that they're also willing to go to. So 0-1 breaking ball stays high. The 1-1. Bring him on the ground. That's going to be a tough play. Nice sliding stop, long throw over to first. He's just not going to have enough arm. Nice play there from Hartsfield to even keep that one in on the infield.
Yeah, not a whole lot you can do there. Just put it up, got it up in the air just to try to get something over at first, but definitely not enough power behind it, but obviously a base hit all the way.
Yeah, just sliding to his right in that 5-6 hole. It's just going the opposite way. You're not going to get a whole lot of oomph on that. So here's Alden Cottle. Takes the first pitch strike. Cottle's been busy so far, and not so much at the plate, but he's already turned a double play in the first inning over at third. He's also gotten a couple of other ground balls as well.
Yeah, you see on the screen, good batting average coming in, 307, along with a 395 on base percentage.
Got some pop with 4 home runs on the year. Had a healthy hack at that one, came up empty 0-2.
No triples, but he's a decent runner, 5 stolen bases on the year.
Tried to go the other way with that one, just protecting the plate. Count remains 0-2. Mount Olivet 36-15. They finished Conference Carolina's play at 18-11. Georgia Southwestern was 34-17 and a sounding 22-8 in conference. In regular season and tournament champions. Check on George over there at first. The 0-2. Got him chasing in the turf as a strikeout, so he's automatically out. But moving up 90 feet to second base is Cooper George. Now the runner in scoring position with 2 away. Here's Joshua Jones. Jones Sr. batting .266 on the year. Got some pop with 4 home runs and 40 ribbies.
I think Georgia Southwestern's trying to make the argument that he was interfered with at the plate. Runner was going on that pitch, so it didn't look like there was going to be any play at second anyway, but
yeah, I was focused. I was looking at the ball. I wasn't fully focused on where Cottle ended up after his swing. Did look like he was a little unbalanced, to say the least, but I don't think he interfered. Count it 1-0. Just got a piece of that one. Fouled it back to the screen. Count even at 1-1.
yeah, going back to that Conference Carolinas tournament, Mount Olive obviously took care of business, but that included a 21-1 victory against the 19th ranked Braves of UNC Pembroke. They were impressive in that tournament.
A regional team too. They're over there in the Newberry Regional. 1-1. Popped up. Alexander trying to find it. Throws the mask away and secures it for out number 3. Mount Olive gets a runner in scoring position, but nothing else. We've played 2 here in Tigerville. It's 0-0.
Dear college sports,
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal, and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and
They say college is the best time of your life. But what about what comes next? At Georgia Southwestern State University, you're not just here for the clubs, or the campus, or the dining hall. You're here for small class sizes, affordable programs, and real-world experience. When you come to GSW, you're not just here for college. You're here for your tomorrow. Georgia Southwestern State University. Take tomorrow by storm. Start your journey at gsw.edu.
Top of the order, due up for the Hurricanes here in the top of the 3rd. No runs on 1 hit, no errors for the Hurricanes thus far. Mount Olive, no runs on 2 hits, no errors. Stevens' first pitch to Blindstrom, fouled out of play. Blindstrom walked on 5 pitches in the first inning. That one sails high, count even at 1-1. That breaking ball got away from Stevens. Normally you see even a little bit of a shift on a left-hander, but Mount Olive definitely playing Blindstrom straight up. 2-1. And with a fastball, missed off the plate. 3-1. Three walks thus far for Stevens. He's 1 pitch away from his 4th. 3-1. That's nowhere close. 4th walk of the game for Stevens, 2nd to Blindstrom. Here's a shortstop, Miles Hartsfield. He was one of those 4 walks. And you got to keep an eye on Blindstrom over there. As mentioned in the first inning, he leads the team in stolen bases with 22. That one misses as well. Information I was given from Mr. Stevens seems to be living up to his name. Got really good stuff, but there's times where he can definitely lose a little bit of command. That one looked good, but it just off the plate, according to Mr. Danny Everett behind the plate. Again, when you're not around the plate very much, those close calls you're usually not going to get.
Yep, definitely. When you can paint the corners, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt, but he's been struggling to do that and just wasn't quite able to get it that time.
Yeah, 4 walks in and 3+ innings thus far. Feels like they've had a lot of traffic as well, and that they've only had the 1 hit.
Yeah, he's been able to work out of it, so give him credit. I mean,
yeah.
I always bring up, my bias is going to be shown, but, with South Carolina back in the day, they had Matt Price, who during the College World Series run, he would practically walk the bases loaded, and then that just got him into a different gear, and he was able to mow down everybody after that. It was like –
sounds like he just wanted to give the other team fault.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So far it's worked out for Stevens, but I don't think he's trying to push his luck too much longer.
Yeah. And Mount Olive is very comfortable with going to their bullpen. They've got a lot of arms. That was one of the reasons why they were able to win 4 straight games at the Conference Carolinas tournament. They go deep in that bullpen. The 2-0. That one's in there, 2-1.
Hurricane fans feel that umpire was giving him the benefit of the doubt there.
Check on Blindstrom over there first. You mentioned that when this home faithful from North Greenville gets here later tonight, I got a feeling we're going to be having a lot of that too.
You're not a true home crowd if you're not getting on the umpire at some point.
That's fair. That's fair. That one's on the outside corner, 2-2. Stevens got back in the at-bat, even the count up at 2-2. Looking for his put-away pitch right here. The 2-2. Got him swinging.
Tell you what, that's always got to feel good as a catcher. Mike Kinney, after 2 straight balls, he heads to the mound, just has a few words with them, and then right after that, 3 straight strikes to retire the batter.
Man, I'd like to know what he said. I guess it doesn't matter because it worked, but that's the first strikeout of the game for Stevens. Corey Lee stands in, take the first pitch, breaking ball for a ball. Lee would like to atone for what he did in the first inning. Hit a ground ball right to Alden Cottle over there at third. He promptly stepped on the third base bag and fired across the first for the 5-3 double play. Got a hole on the right side of the infield if he wants to go that way. 1-0 on the inside corner, 1-1. really am surprised Blindstrom over there first really hasn't really had a threat going over there. But then again, with the starting pitcher having a little bit of command issues, might be thought about it there. And that one's fouled back 1-2.
That was Hunter Stevens' 50th pitch right there, 21 strikes.
Through 2 1/3 innings. Especially for a guy that's coming back from Tommy John surgery. Can't imagine he's going to be in this game a ton. Check on Blindstrom over there first. Dives back safely.
And yeah, it's been mentioned already, but Blindstrom does lead this Hurricane lineup in stolen bases with 22 on the season. Mount Olive definitely concerned about him.
Yeah, that one was much closer, but he's still back safely. I'll look in. Here's the 1-2. Blindstrom's taking off for second. Throw down is going to be offline. Blindstrom in with his 23rd stolen base of the year.
Didn't get a particularly great jump there, but luckily for him, the throw is off target, so it made it a pretty easy base to steal.
Yeah, throws on target where it's definitely a closer play, but that thing was a little offline. So the count at 2-2. 2-2 to lead. That's hit up the middle. It's a play. Casparo on the run. Throw first. Nice play there. Jack Casparo with a nice play. Had to charge that one coming in to his right. He's running towards the third base bag, and he throws across his shoulder to make the play. What a play.
Yeah, it's never an easy play right there, but he made it look easy.
There's now 2 away, but now Blindstrom advances 90 feet to third base. Here's Calvin Alexander. He flew out to right in the first inning. And he's also got a massive hole in the right side of the infield if he can go that way.
And one thing to keep in mind is that although there's no rain right now, field's still pretty wet. Now it is artificial turf, so drainage not an issue, but just one thing to keep in mind, might see a slip up or two at some point during this game.
Would not be surprised. Came with a good breaking ball in the outside corner to even things up. Here's the 1-1. That one's also in the air to right field. Who wants this one? Looks like it's going to be Choboy calling for it. Finally settles under it, and he makes the grab to retire the side. So no runs on no hits. Hurricanes leave a runner stranded 90 feet away. Head to the bottom of the third, still 0-0.
Dear college sports.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal, and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us.
And for college sports.
Head to the bottom of the third here in Tigerville. Still 0-0. Be 9-1-2 duo for the Trojans. As Mike Kinney, the catcher, takes the ball one outside. Kinney batting .303 on the year, 2 home runs, 16 runs batted in. I guess that one missed high. That one looked pretty good from up here. But.
Yeah, just a little bit high there.
So hitter-friendly count here for Kenny, 2-0. That one's right down Tigerville Boulevard, 2-1.
I was going to say, if that one's a ball, then I don't know where that one is.
Yeah, we can guess the first one. That one, yeah. 2-1. That one's right there, strike 2. That one's poked down the right center field. That's going to be trouble. That's going to get down. Patterson will play it on a hop. And a strong throw back in to hold McKinney to a single. So a leadoff base hit for Mike Kinney as they send things back to the top of the order. Good job from Kinney with 2 strikes to kind of just go the other way with that one. Look at the ball in the outer half of the plate. Just didn't try to pull anything. Just went with it and drove it out towards right center field. Good job from Patterson out there in center field to cut that one off. Here's the top of the order, Dylan Jeffries. He's first pitch swinging. This could be 2. A little bobble over to short, over to first. In time, double play. Lee kind of bobbled that one a little bit, but eventually got it out of his glove. Still had plenty of time, was able to turn to 4-6-3 double play.
Tell you what an athletic move by second base umpire Don Andrews. He had to leap up to not get hit by that one.
He's not like a young man in his 20s, so the fact that he was able to leap and get out of the way of that one, that was very impressive. He's lucky it wasn't the hardest hit ball either. So here's a Vito Tierno. Flew out to right in his only plate appearance thus far. Takes that one on the outer half, even things up at 1-1. So far early in this game, it seems like both teams have had guys on the base. They just can't get that big hit. Good breaking ball there from McCollum, 1-2. That's hit up the middle. Hartsfield to his left, throws on the run in time to retire the side. So leadoff hit by Kinney. Gets a race on the 4-6-3 double play. So no runs on 1 hit. Nobody was left stranded. We played 3, still 0-0 here on the North Greenville Sports Network. It'll be Ragsdale, Bradley, and Davis for the Hurricanes. And this is Southeast Regional 1. Over in Southeast Regional 2, again, they were supposed to start about the same time as us, but they're having a little bit of trouble with the rain. Newberry is the 2 seed. They were the host of that regional. They're going to take on UNC Pembroke about 6 o'clock now, last I heard. Then I'm assuming about 9:30 it'll be Belmont Abbey and Columbus State. That's a 4-team regional. Here we only have 3. Stevens' first pitch. Ragsdale misses outside.
Tell you what, the Southeast as a whole just seems to have trouble every year with the NCAA regionals. Seems like every year we're having to deal with weather.
Yep. Oh, nice leaping grab by George over there at first. Cooper George went way up to get that one. Wow. And they usually just, old cliche about they just put the tallest guy over at first, but that was a very athletic play.
Oh, yeah. Take a look at the replay here.
Got up to snag that one. Nice play there from Cooper George. One away. That's a Big old breaking ball there from Stevens, 0-1. Game with, took something off of that one. Gets ahead 0-2. That one's poked of the middle right to the shortstop, Jones. His throw a little low, but dug over there nicely by George, 2 away. Had him played perfectly on that one. Here's George Davis. Davis has the only Hurricane hit thus far. He had a single back in the second. And with a slider there, missed downstairs.
I'll tell you what, still one more out to get, but so far this is exactly the inning that Hunter Stevens needed.
Swing at that one, and this could get him out of the inning. Boy comes in, and he makes the grab to retire the side. Very much so needed. 1-2-3 inning for Hunter Stevens and the Mount Olive Trojans. Played 3.5, still 0-0. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Trojans. Here in the home half of the fourth inning, still 0-0. Barrow first pitch swing on the infield. Who wants this one? To play running in is the first baseman, Paul Hegman. You know, if you look for a second, the pitcher was going to take charge of that one. They usually teach, like, you know, everybody get away, the pitcher get away. Let one of the fielders that's in there to do that make that play. And that's exactly what McCollum did there. So 1 pitch, 1 out for McCollum. And McCollum's probably out there for a good long while for them. So again, a lot of first pitch swinging outs. Probably not going to be the recipe for success if you're Mount Olive here today.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Nick McCollum, he's looked really good thus far. So, you know, it can honestly go both ways. You know, there's times where, you know that a pitcher is on, and you just try to get him to throw as many pitches as possible, try to get him out as soon as you can. But if he's just going to sit there and throw strike after strike,
yeah,
you can't just sit there and take it. You got to go after it at some point. So, I mean, you can definitely see it both ways.
That's true. Here's the 1-0. Downstairs 2-0. You make a good point. He has yet to walk a guy. I mean, all 3 runners he's allowed have been via the hit. They've earned their way on.
Yeah, that was just his 40th pitch.
That one's poked in the right center field. That's going to get down. That one's going to one hop and out of here on a hop for a ground rule double. 4th base hit of the ballgame for the Trojans. That's their first extra base hit. Here's JT Stone. Again, anything out towards right center fielder, I don't know, it just always carries well. That ball was hit extremely well. If that wasn't for the wind out there, I would be surprised if that ball had a chance to at least get out of here. Stone's 0 for 1, grounded out to second in the second. That was going to be a tough play for the second baseman. He's not going to be able to field it. Corey Lee had to come a long way in from his position out there, because get on turf field, you want to try to give yourself as much time as possible because that ball's going to get on you quickly. So anytime there's a chopper like that, it can be a tough play, and he had to go a long way, and then when he got to it, just wasn't able to handle the hop.
Yeah, it did go down as an error. He did have time to make the throw if he made the play. But nevertheless, still would have advanced the runner no matter what, but could have had a second out there, and George is going to have a chance to get an RBI here. It'd be the first of the game.
There's a big difference, though, between 2 outs runner on third and then 1 out runners on the corners. That one's hit. That's going to be a tough play. That's going to get at least 1 run home. Long throw across the diamond is not going to be in time. First run of the ball game goes to Mount Olive as they take a 1-0 lead. And partner, you mentioned about the foothold. It definitely looked like it was a tough play there for Hartsfield. He kind of slipped a little bit. I don't know if you mentioned Hegman over there at first kind of slipped at the bag himself, almost allowed the ball to get by.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. It was like the ball took a weird bounce that he just wasn't quite expecting. He it landed right in front of him, and then he kind of just hesitated a little bit right there. Was able to get his glove on the ball, but that one almost got away from him.
So the 5th hit of the ball game results in the first run.
And because of that base hit, that was an earned run.
With less than 2 outs, yeah. And with a Colin comes with a breaking ball, evens the count up at 1-1.
Now, if JT Stone does come on to score, then that would be unearned.
Stone over there at second. Cooper George over there at first. We're calling 1-1 to Cottle. Anyway, that's at a good ways down the right field line, but it's tailing foul. See what McCollum comes with here in 1-2. With a fast tantrum, that's on the ground to second. Could be 2. Or second for 1. A little spin over the first base, and they got him. What a play over there by Miles Hartsfield. He kind of fielded the ball out the second base bag and did a little 360 spin and get another look at it here. Ground ball to second. Just flipped it to short. Throw a little offline. He's lucky the runner didn't slide into him a little bit, but it was a good strong throw for someone that was falling down.
Yeah, I was thinking live that the runner I was thinking he might have gotten a hand on his foot, but that was not the case. He just flat out slipped. And, like you said, we were talking about it early on, but definitely the field playing a little bit of a factor, but still able to complete the double play. And that was a great job to retire the side.
So Mount Olive does get 1 run on 2 hits. They also were the beneficiary of an error over there at second base. We played 4. Mount Olive grabs the 1-0 lead. Eight, 9, and 1 due up for the Hurricanes. First up will be Paul Hegman. Paul came up with runners on the corners and 1 out, and was first pitch swinging at Stevens, who was having a little bit of control issues at the time, and bailed him out with a foul out to third. takes that one downstairs, 1-0. Swing at that one, in on the hands, out towards second. Gasparo's got that one, one away. Since he issued that fourth free pass of the game to Jake Lindstrom, who's on deck now, he's retired the last 7 men in order. It definitely seems like Hunter Stevens has found himself a groove. Looks to try to continue that against Chris Patterson. He's first pitch swing up the middle. That one's going to sneak through. That's going to be a base hit. It was a little bit issues out there with communication there between Jones and Casparo. Both of them looked at the other one. So you going to get it? No, I thought you were going to get it.
Yeah, it would have been a tough play even if one of them did make the charge for it. But, yeah, still a base hit all the way.
That's the second base hit of the ball game for the Hurricanes. I'll get things back to the top of the order for Jake Lindstrom. That one's going to get away, but it's not going to be far enough. Patterson will notice that right away. He could have hopped up and possibly go, but he did have a little bit of hesitation. Get another look at that one. A little half swing back to the net. Patterson has 6 stolen bases on the year. He's 6 for 10 in that department over there at first. Got about a 1.5, 2 stride lead, excuse me. 0-1 changeup. Off the plate, 1-1. Ball looking from Stevens. The 1-1 sails high and out. 2-1. There's a big-sized hole through the 3-4 hole on the right side of the infield, if he can find that way. That was going to pop out of the mid of Kenny, but Patterson over there first I don't think he thought it was far enough. Yeah, that is a little bit of a tough angle there to tell just how far that ball squirts away from first base to where that ball popped out of Kenny's glove. Nonetheless, 3-1. He's going to get the call. A fastball on the outside corner to run things full. Another check over there at first. Big pitch up coming for Stevens. But before that, we'll get another check on Patterson over at first. It's a little surprising they're trying to keep him as close to the R with man with only 6 stolen bases on the year. Payoff pitch. Ooh, swung at ball 4 on that one. Trying to protect the plate. Here's the payoff pitch once more. Runner takes off for second, but he'll have to retreat as that one's fouled out of play. You like that sending the runner there with a full count 1 out?
Yeah, I mean, you put a lot of confidence in the hitter, but with him being the leadoff and having a good solid average this season, good on-base percentage as well, you know that he's, going to try his best to protect the plate and not strike out. So if you have confidence in the batter, why not?
See if he does it again. Patterson takes off for second, but it doesn't matter because it's outside, ball 4. That's the 3rd time Lindstrom's been walked today. That was a great at-bat there. Here's Miles Hartsfield. Miles is 0 for 1 officially on the day. He did walk in the first. That was one of now 5 walks from Mr. Hunter Stevens on the mound. Hasn't given up many hits, only given up 2 hits thus far, but there have been some traffic due to those 5 walks. And with a backdoor breaking ball on the outside corner, 0-1.
Just realized looking at the stat sheet that the 1, 2, and 3 hitters for Georgia Southwestern came into this game, all 3 of them with 29 strikeouts each.
Oh, wow.
It's such a crazy coincidence.
The hat trick of 29. Nice stop there from Kenny to keep that one in front of him. I guess to this point, I guess you can say Mr. Hunter Stevens out there on the mound is the pure definition of effectively wild thus far. Hasn't given up a run. He has issued 5 free passes, scattered 2 hits.
He certainly looked much better in the last couple of innings than he did at the start.
That one misses as well, 2-1.
But pitch count starting to become an issue for him now. Like you said, he was gonna kind of be on limited time today, trying to get 4 or 5 innings out of him. But he is near 80 pitches.
Yeah,
so you have to wonder when fatigue will start to become a factor for him.
2-1. Especially a guy that's coming back from Tommy John like this. Yeah. And, I mean, it is only his 7th start back. So, I mean, so he's had some time, but definitely won't go too far.
See that wind on his jersey really blowing right now.
Yeah, it's kind of coming in from right field, blowing towards left a little bit. Here's the 3-1. Had a hack at that one. Kenny's going to give it a look. Is he going to have enough room? He will. Kenny about 3 steps in front of the netting behind home plate. Makes the grab for out number 2. So here's Corey Lee. Lee's 0 for 2 on the day, grounded into a double play and then grounded out to second. Patterson out there in second. He's single. Blindstrom over there at first. He walked. That one was behind Lee.
That was a breaking ball that just got away. Didn't really break either.
In a huge hole on the right side of the infield for Lee if he can punch one that way. Takes the fastball right there, 1-1.
That was the 80th pitch for Stevens. Do see some action in the Mount Olive bullpen, so that's something to keep an eye on.
You wouldn't be surprised if this is his last inning or if he's approaching the limit. Hurricanes in need of a big 2-out hit, but instead he's going to get hit. That'll now load the bases for Calvin Alexander. Try to look at that one. They punked him right there on the tricep. Looks like that's Rob Watt. It looks like he's going to go ahead and make at least have a mound visit. I didn't see his first couple steps out of the dugout, so I didn't see if he motioned toward the bullpen or not. Oh, yep. Yep, I think he just made the motion. And they will indeed go to the bullpen. We'll come back in a moment as Hunter Stevens' day is done. Ducks on the pond for the Hurricanes. They look to try to get back in this one. They find themselves down 1-0. And Bibbo's going to face Calvin Alexander. 0 for 2 on the day, 2 flyouts to right field.
Yeah, a lot of, a big stat for pitchers is whip, but one thing it doesn't take into account is timely pitching. And, doesn't matter how many walks or hits you give up. If they're with runners with empty, the base is empty and you're not allowing them to score, then that you can be just as effective at the end of the day as someone that just strikes out the side.
Very true. I'll put a little mini shift on for Alexander. The 1-0 to him, flips the outside corner, 1-1. You get a look at that shift right there. Again, that's a shortstop on the far left side of your screen. Joshua Jones and Caspero over there just about, let's say about 2 strides to the right of the second base bag up the middle.
Yeah. It's the modern major league shift.
Mm-hmm.
Not banned from the majors.
1-1 breaking ball misses, 2-1. If he could punch one towards that right side.
If Caspero took 2 steps, well, a little more than 2, about 4 steps to his right, then that would be a banned shift at the major league level, but those rules are not here at the college level, so they can go wherever they want.
The 2-1. Look at a slider there, just swung over the top of it. County Vet 2-2. That was a good hard breaking ball there from Mbembo. Twos across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded. Mount trying to protect a 1-0 lead. Here's the pitch. And with the breaking ball just off the plate. You saw that, but practically the entire Mount Olive outfield out there was moving towards the dugout.
And I don't know how Alexander did not swing at that pitch.
Oof.
You're down 2 strikes, and you're just trying to protect the plate. I do not know how you don't swing at that. Great plate discipline.
Biggest pitch of the inning, the 3-2. That's hit on the ground to short. Jones got it. A little bit of a low throw, but dug over there nicely by George. So the Hurricanes load the bases, but can't bring anybody home. We're halfway home. 1-0 Trojans. Head to the bottom half of the 5th inning here in Tigerville. Game 1 of the Tigerville Regional. Got 8-9-1 due up for the Trojans of Mount Olive. First pitch swinging is Joshua Jones. Throw a little bit of a high throw. Did he hold the bag? He did. A little bit of a high throw there from George Davis, but Hegman was able to corral that one and keep the foot on the bag for out number 1.
Yeah, good stretch there to get his foot back on the base. That one could have been a throwing error. Obviously would have been, but he's able to just stretch out his heel enough to cover the base.
Here's the catcher, Mike Kinney. McCollum's first pitch to him is on the outside corner. Kinney has one of those 5 Mount Olive hits. The single came back in the 3rd. Good hard breaking ball in there from McCollum. 0-2.
McCollum just continues to be aggressive on the mound. Just 50 pitches now, 33 of them strikes.
0-2. A little bit waste pitch outside there, 1-2. The 1-2 in with the breaking ball. Kenny thought about swinging, but wisely held off.
By the way, I'm glad I'm not the only one that says waste pitch.
I've heard them say it at the major league level.
Learned that from Matt Vasgersian playing MLB The Show so many years.
That one's out of play. We'll do the 2-2 once more. And you want to have waste pitches, but you also don't want to be a waste of a waste pitch.
Yeah. You don't want to throw it so far outside that it almost looks like an intentional ball.
Exactly. 2-2. Poked on the ground. That's going to get through for a base hit. Mike Kinney, the 9-hole hitter for the Trojans, is 2 for 2 today. Just poked that one to the right side. You see the little helmet thing out there over there, first base, between the first base coach and Mike Kinney?
No, I didn't see that.
The helmet, little headbutt. It was a side butt, so.
Yeah.
Gonna get time called. Oh. Got communication issues going there for Calvin Alexander there behind the plate. They're gonna work on him. I'm glad they made Danny Everett behind the plate made that vocal. 'Cause sometimes you're just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
He made it very loud. Hey, they got communication issues. I'm going right here. We're not making sure nothing that shouldn't be said isn't said.
And also, it doesn't keep us guessing. If we're looking at that, it's like, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on?
Yeah. It's like a wardrobe function. Like, what's going on here? But
well, not only that, but if there was a communication device, is it legal? Is it illegal? It's like
that's the thing. These technological advances, they were meant to speed up the game.
Yeah.
It's kind of ironic what's happening there.
Yeah.
Kind of slowing down.
I'll tell you what's crazy to me is the pitch comm devices at the major league level. How often they malfunction. It's like, this must be the worst electronic company ever.
Yeah, right.
You wouldn't think it would be that difficult, but I'm sure there's a whole lot more to it.
Of course, yeah, for sure. Looks like they're getting upset. Thankfully, they had a backup. Looks like it's just. I remember. I think it was Lenore Ryan had this last year for the against the Crusaders. They had the walkie and stuff that they would walk in what the selection they wanted.
Huh.
Get a good look at it right there. Yeah, I did a little bit catching back there. I don't know how I'd like it if the coach was just in my ear. Now, it'd make it because they did all the signs and stuff that they used to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be glad to miss that. But it just for me, it's just like, man, the coach in your ear telling you what pitch to throw is just, I don't know. It feels weird to me. But then again,
I feel like as a coach, I would get paranoid that the batter was hearing it somehow.
Yeah,
that sound would just bleed through just a little bit.
Exact same way. We're back to action here. As the first pitch to Dylan Jeffries is a breaking ball in there for strike one. Jeffries is officially 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the first and then grounded into a double play in the third. Collins 0-1. Up there is going to get away from the catcher. Throw down with second will not be made. Heads up base running there from Mike Kinney. Now he's in scoring position.
That did go down as a wild pitch.
Yeah, Alexander did everything he could to try to keep that one in front of him. Just an unlucky bounce around the plate. Count even at 1-1. With a good fastball in the inside corner. Mount Olive faithful behind the plate and Dylan Jeffries at the plate did not agree with that one. There have been some questions with the strike zone as far, especially early on. But a count at 1-2. The breaking ball, good job there from Jeffries to lay off that one. Count even at 2-2. No runs on 2 hits, 1 error for the Hurricanes. 1 run on 6 hits, no errors for the Trojans. The 2-2. Chop the third base side, but it's going to go foul. So we'll do the 2-2 once more. Long looking for McCollum. That's the pitch that he wants. He's ready with the 2-2. He's hit on the ground to third. That's going to get by the third baseman. That's going to go down the left field line. Kenny around third. He's going to score. And into second with an RBI stand-up double is Dylan Jeffries. And it's 2-0 Mount Olive. Looked like it for a second. George Davis over there third was going to be able to handle that one, but it just danced right by him.
Yeah, great try by him, but just a little bit out of his reach. And that one made it all the way to the fence down the left field line, and that became an easy RBI.
Yeah, looked for a second. He had a chance to glove that one, but just wasn't able to come up with it, and it goes down the third base line for an RBI double. Here's Vito Petierno. Still only 1 away. To get me over breaking ball there. And the winner of this one is in pretty good shape. They'll advance to play North Greenville tomorrow night at 7:30. Loser will have to turn around and play 45 minutes to an hour, give or take, roughly 7:30 start time. Try to fight for their postseason lives.
Yeah, I mean, I think both teams would agree that this is a must-win game because, man, the hole that you have to climb out of if you drop this first game, that's tough. I mean, that is tough. It's frustrating. You know, there's a 3-team regional for a team to go home after just 1 day. That's tough.
That
you
is
know,
tough.
You know, they had to deal with it last year, and you know, it's just never easy.
Yeah,
I believe that was UNC Pembroke that had.
It was the Braves of UNC Pembroke. They lost to Lenore Ryan. I believe it was like 12-5, and then had to turn around and play North Greenville. Had a 4-1 lead and watched it crumble away. Ended up losing 6-4 and being eliminated.
All in 1 day.
Yep. More of like 7 hours.
Yep.
Here's the 1-2. And with a good breaking ball, peeled down to first. He did go around. Kevin Spivey down there at first base. Rings up Petierno. And there's now 2 away. Get another look at that one. See if he went around. It's close, but
it's close.
It appears, looks like the wrist did break a little bit. So that is a close call. But Kevin Spivey down the first base line, rings him up. So here's Caspero. Takes the first pitch on the outer half, 0-1. Caspero's 1 for 2 on the day. His base hit coming in the first. I don't know if already with a run here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, looking for another one. That one misses, count even at 1-1. You definitely want to try to get more, but just because while the Hurricanes don't have anything across the scoreboard yet, they've had a lot of traffic. They're knocking at the door. So you definitely want, in a postseason game, you can never have enough insurance runs. For the 1-1, Colin will check back on there. Jeffries at second. Here's the 1-1 from McCollum. And with another good breaking ball. That one's strike 2. Jeffress out there at second. Sounds like they're after doubling in McKinney. 1-2, a breaking ball. Didn't offer at it. Twos across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the 2-2. That one's right there at the knees, called strike 3. McCall gets out of it, but not before he allows a run on 2 hits. Leaves him 1 man stranded. We played 5 here in Tigerville. Game 1 of the Tigerville Regional. It's 2-0 Mount Olive. Head to the top half of the 6th inning here in Game 1 of the Tigerville Regional. Mount Olive on top, 2-0. Hurricanes only have 2 hits, but they've had plenty of runners. They've benefited from 5 walks and a hit by pitcher. They just haven't been able to cash any of them in yet.
Yeah, I mean, they've put up a great fight so far. Really, Mount Olive fortunate to be up 2-0, as many walks as they have allowed. But give credit to the pitching. Clutch pitching has kept Georgia Southwestern from getting on the board.
So here's Reed Ragsdale. Ethan Mbimbo still on the mound for the Trojans. That one's chopped foul quickly, 0-2. In here at Ray and B. Dillard Field here at Ashmore Park, the dimensions down the left field line, 330, 355 to left center, 385 to dead center, 365 to right center, and 330 down the right field line. The 0-2. That was a good 0-2 pitch there, missed outside. If you're thinking 385 to center and 355 to left center, there's a reason for that. Just because if the day without wind here in Tigerville, it's like a unicorn. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, and technically, I've mentioned this before during the season, but dead center, that is a called strike.
Yeah, good backdoor breaking ball there from Mbimbo. Gets Ragsdale looking.
But what's kind of strange about this ballpark is that dead center field is actually not quite the deepest part of the ballpark. It's actually just a little bit to the right of it. Right where the middle of the championship part is pretty much the deepest part. It's a couple feet deeper. It's kind of looks like a hump if you're looking like from a Google Earth view.
So we say, but probably that goes about 5 feet further. About
something, pretty close to that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, this place has come so far. I've talked about it before, but I've been here at North Greenville for 8 years now, and just the difference between then and now has just been astounding.
Well, the turf field, this little area we're at currently behind home plate.
George Bomar Family Stadium.
0-2 count here to Garrett Bradley. Bradley's 0 for 1 on the day.
Yeah, no, we actually have a picture from back in the day when the games were played on an intramural field. We'll bring that up in just another pitch or two. And when you see the background, you will understand why it's such a crazy picture.
From Mbimbo, just got a piece of that. Oh,
they say it hit him.
I thought I heard. Interesting. Look to me, I thought I heard a cling like of the metal bat, but I guess.
Well, did he not swing?
Well, they didn't appeal down to third base.
Huh.
Interesting. Get another look at that one. Goes down hit by pitch.
What? Oh, it must have been a catcher's interference.
That might have been what the.
That's what it was. He pointed at the catcher. Okay, I was so confused
because I was thinking because I heard that like ting in there. That makes more sense. That's from the glove. So catcher's interference. Ooh, that one's in on the hands. Ooh, George Davis squared around to show bump, but that one came high and tight on him. Not sure if it pinched his finger on the bat. And he's not wearing batting gloves, so that definitely is going to sting a little bit.
Yeah, old-fashioned hitter right here.
I'm sure you have yours, but I remember going as a Braves fan, Evan Gaddis, El Oso Blanco, the polar bear they called him. He would go up there with a wood bat and stuff, especially when it was cold, and not do it. I was like, that man's crazy.
I want to say, yeah, I'm a Mets fan, but I think Steven Matz didn't use batting gloves. You know, he was a pitcher. But
that one almost hit him again. Yeah. I have respect for guys that do go up there with no batting gloves, but I also just think to myself, y'all crazy. No way.
Oh, yeah.
Count even at 1-1 at George Davis. That one's popped up on the infield. Alden Cottle drifting. And now coming back close fair territory, still in foul territory, makes the grab. He made that one look a little adventurous. Again, the wind is blowing really, really hard, so that probably played with that one just a little bit.
And there's the picture. Take a look at right field.
My. There's a mountain in right field.
Yeah. I could not imagine. So that is the intramural field. On the bottom is Ashmore Park. But yeah, that was pretty crazy. I could not imagine that it was easy playing right field back in the day.
Oh, my. No kidding.
You had never seen that picture before?
Nope.
Oh, wow.
I've never seen that picture before. There's first pitch to Paul Hegman on the outside corner, 0-1. Wow. I played at his place like that. I remember I think it's Tomasi-Salem, South Carolina, Tomasi-Salem High School. They have like a big old mountain in left field.
Yeah, I went to Richland Northeast in Columbia, Richland Northeast High School for 2 years, and they had a little bit of a hill in left field, but it certainly wasn't anywhere near that. I don't think I think that would be outlawed if somebody had a hill like that today. There's no way.
Yeah, that definitely be strong objections to that. Count at 0-1. That one ran just off the plate, 1-1.
But yeah, that is now the intramural field just a little bit to the right of us. There is still part of the home run wall that's still there where the old pool is behind Hayes Gymnasium.
Oh, interesting.
So there's a little bit of a remnant there.
That one misses just off the plate, 2-1. How long has that pool been out of commission, by the way?
It's been several years now.
Okay.
Just kind of got. I mean, I think the pool was built in I want to say in the 60s, so it was past its prime, and it was finally pretty much condemned.
Time to retire that thing. The 2-1, and with a good breaking ball, even the count up at 2-2. Twos across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bradley over there at first due to catcher's interference. And he got him swinging. Mimmo, his second K of the ball game, second K of the inning. One runner does get on base thanks to a catcher's interference, but he doesn't advance past first base. We played 5.5, 2-0 Mount Olive.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela birds it.
An incredible finish by home.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
They say college is the best time of your life. But what about what comes next? At Georgia Southwestern State University, you're not just here for the clubs, or the campus, or the dining hall. You're here for small class sizes, affordable programs, and real-world experience. When you come to GSW, you're not just here for college. You're here for your tomorrow. Georgia Southwestern State University. Take tomorrow by storm. Start your journey at gsw.edu.
Four, 5, and 6 due up for the Trojans here in the home half of the sixth inning. Trying to get some insurance runs. Up 2-0. That one misses. Joe Boy 1 for 2 on the day. Struck out swinging in the first and then had a one-out double in the fourth. Came with a 2-0 breaking ball there. Got the call. 2-1. A little get me over breaking ball right there. 2-1. That's hit on the ground sharply to third, but that one's going to be fielded on a hop there by George Davis. One away. Here's JT Stone. Stone's officially 0 for 2 on the day. Grounded at second and then reached on the E4. McCollum's first pitch to him sails outside. McCollum threw 5 1/3 innings thus far. 1-0, fisted out of play. Again, their top two guys for the Hurricanes, they're going to ride them. Definitely no action to bullpen. Probably not going to see that for a while as well. McCollum came in today with a 2.8 ERA, and this being his 15th start. Stone had a healthy hack at that one, came up empty, even to count up at 2-2. That one skipped up there. That'll run it full.
And he's still not in trouble yet with his pitch count. He's getting up there. He's at 78 now, so not too far from maybe being near the end of the line. But Georgia Southwestern's bullpen is deserted right now.
3-2. That's low and in, ball 4. Well, you talked about earlier about him being around the plate. That's his first walk of the ball game. So here's Cooper George. McCollum has yet to retire George. He's 2 for 2. Base hits coming in the second and the fourth. That one's right there for strike one. The 0-1. That one's right down the middle, 0-2. Comes with here at the 0-2. That's poked down the right field line. That's a fair ball. Headed towards the corner. JT Stone, he's around third. They're going to wave him. He's going to be in there easy. He likes to slide head first either way. And it's 3-0 Mount Olive. RBI double there for Cooper George, his third hit of the ball game.
I don't know what happened down there at the line, but he was having all kinds of issues getting that ball back in. I don't know if that ball got stuck. I mean, he didn't put his hands up, but it took him a long time to bring that ball back in.
It appears to look like that's going to trigger some action down there in the Hurricane bullpen. I don't know if we're going to get another look at that one. There we go. That one just right down the right field line, a good couple of feet fair.
And just right here, just
yeah,
it did get away from him.
Just misplayed it out there in the outfield. First pitch swinging is Alden Connell. He chops it foul.
Definitely would have been a double no matter what there,
yeah,
so
for sure.
No error, but yeah, definitely a little bit of a misplay there.
Mount Olive with a 3-0 lead now. Gonna pick over to second. They got him. And Cooper George just leaning a little too far off the second base bag. Going to have to see here that Mount Olive may elect to challenge this.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a challenge.
Get a look at it right here. Tough look from this angle. Tough to tell exactly when they were able to put the tag on him. Again, we do have review here at the Tigerville Regional. And they're probably having a conference just to see if anybody saw anything, but the second base umpire, Don Andrews, out there definitely had the best look out of it.
Yeah.
Yep, and we're going to go to review. Going to be interesting to see if we can get a better look at that one. You know, bang, bang from here. It was tough to tell exactly when that tag was applied, but it was bang, bang from up here. It's really cool, right? If you're going to be able to implement replay into the regional here now.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. It was you know, we were told that in order to have it for regional play, had to have it during the regular season, and so we've had it this year here at Ray and B. Dillard Field for the non-conference games. But I will say we have not had one call that wasn't either overturned or confirmed. Now this one's going to be tough. I don't, unless there is another angle that shows it. I mean, it's going to be the camera we're looking at right now. That's really the only one that could see it, because the outfield camera is not going to be able to show it. It's not showing second base. And then I'm not sure about the first base camera up on the hill. I'm guessing that they were showing the batter, but just have to wait and see what happens, as our producer, Will Cahaley, is currently communicating with the umpires.
Doing a good job as always. Be interesting to see if they are able to overturn the call. They haven't emerged out yet. Still have yet to see a angle of this. Got some time to fill here. So of course this is game 1 of 2 today. In North Greenville, #1 seed in all the Southeast awaits the loser of this one. And again, Alan and I were talking about it earlier. It's kind of very unfortunate. Not only do you potential of having, you know, being eliminated from the postseason in one day. In order to fight off your season, if you lose this one, you're going to have to go up against the #1 team in Division II. Here's another look at that. Ooh, that's really close. From that angle, the tag looks like it's applied on the upper arm and the shoulder area. It was tough to tell if he was able to get that hand in there. From our first glance, it looked like they got him, because it was tough to tell with that hand getting back to the bag when the tag was applied, because it was a little bit of a higher tag. Again, it was up on the upper arm shoulder area. And look, that was definitely probably the best look we're probably going to get at that one. I believe it was Kevin Spivey, the first base umpire, and then Bobby Dunnigan, the third base umpire, that went in for review on that one. But anyway, again, then we get the other bracket 2 of the Southeast Regional. And that game was supposed to start, the game being Newberry and UNC Pembroke. But due to rain down there in Newberry, South Carolina, they pushed that one back to, last I heard, was 6 o'clock. Then after that one, Belmont Abbey and Columbus State will match up. Guessing they're probably going to be about a 9:30-ish if they're lucky start.
Well, by the way, we were talking about replay. Umpires got to the screen, and it was frozen, so had to fix it real quick. But it is working, so they're taking a look at it now, so we're good to go.
Got to iron out the kinks.
Oh, yeah. It's not a perfect system. When there's a technical issue, sometimes things lock up. And unfortunately, that was the case, but it is working now.
I got a look of it over here.
Okay.
And it was tough to tell because the tag came up on the upper arm of his left arm, shoulder area. Here's the call. You're going to say safe. It was bang, bang. It was a little bit of a higher tag. And Cooper, Georgia, there, look, he get the hand back in there. But so the first time here in postseason play in Tigerville, and call is overturned.
It took a long time, but did get the call overturned.
There's another slowed down version of it. There, the hand is in there now, and then the tag is blind. That is the correct call. So while it did take a minute, we did end up getting the right call. Good camera work there from our behind the home plate guy. 0-1.
Well, that's the legendary Andy Stevens back there.
Oh,
so.
yeah, good old professor of mine. And I know of yours as well.
Oh, yeah. Now Dr. Andy Stevens.
Dr. Andrew Stevens, yeah. Counts at 0-2 to Alden Cottle. Jones chopped on the ground, third base side, and foul. Cal remains 0-2. Cottle's looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Strikeout in the second, and then a 4-6-3 double play in the fourth. Here's the 0-2 again. That one's well off the plate, 1-2. In from McCollum. He's ready with his 1-2. And with a breaking ball, that's ripped down the left field line. That's going to be fair and go all the way to the wall. Georgia around third. He's going to score, and in with a stand-up double is Alden Cottle, and it's 4-0 Mount Olive. Colton came with the breaking ball, and he left that one hanging over the middle of the plate, and Cottle drilled that one down the left field line. And another insurance run for the Trojans. Benefit of replay there. You get the overturned call at second base, get the call right. He was safe, and then get that double as you see right there. So back-to-back doubles from George and Cottle have given Mount Olive a 4-0 lead. So that one to Joshua Jones skips up there. Gets stopped by Alexander behind the plate.
Mount Olive now up to 9 hits on the game. Both teams do have an error. That catcher's interference was considered an error.
That one's chop foul. So count even at 1-1. Jones looking for his first hit of the day. 0 for 2 officially. The 1-1. Yes, he did go around. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Check swing, foul tip into the mitt for strike 3. Jones goes down. For McCollum, that's his 5th strikeout of the ball game. So here's a 9-hole hitter, Mike Kinney. Kinney is yet to be retired today as well. He's 2 for 2. He's swinging at the first pitch and fouls that one away. You mentioned it earlier. McCollum, he throws a lot of strikes. Throws a ton of strikes. Sometimes that's also can be a little bit of a detriment as well, just because the hitters know you're going to be around the plate, so they can kind of keen on it and sit on one pitch.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely such thing as being too consistent throwing strikes. So, yeah, I mean, you definitely have to be careful. You almost want to throw, toss in a ball here and there.
I see what you did there. Little.
Oh, I wasn't on purpose, but I'll take it.
Count even at 1-1. And sent out towards right field. Coming in is Bradley, and he'll make the squeeze to retire the side, but not before the Trojans pick up 2 runs on 2 hits. Back-to-back doubles by George and Cottle. And an overturned call at second base on a pickoff proved very big in the inning. We played 6, 4-0 Mount Olive. Nine, 1-2 due up for the Hurricanes here in the top of the 7th. They got some work to do. They now trail 4-0. First pitch from Mbimbo is a breaking ball for a strike. Mbimbo out for his 2nd full inning of work. Came on and got the final out in the 4th inning. 5th inning, excuse me. That one's on the outside corner, quickly 0-2. Patterson's 1 for 2 on the day. His base hit coming in the 5th inning. That one's hit pretty high out to left, but it's going to stay in the ballpark. Paterno now coming in and settling under, making the grab one away. Kick things back to the top of the order. Jake Blindstrom. Blindstrom is still yet to have an official bat today. All 3 times he's come to the plate, he's walked. All those were on the starter, Hunter Stevens. First time he's facing Mbimbo. That one ran inside. No runs on 2 hits, 1 error for the Hurricanes. 4 runs, 9 hits, 1 errors for the Trojans. Here's the 1-0. That's chopped foul off his foot. Lindstrom got to walk that one off. Look, it got him right on the foot. We'll see if replay confirms that. Yeah, it looks like it just glanced right off the top of his foot. One of those you're just thankful it's not the ankle. Count it 1-1. That one's fouled back, 1-2. And Bimbo looking to try to retire Blindstrom for the first time today. The 1-2. Got a piece of that one to stay alive. Ready for the 1-2 once more. Changeup runs off the plate, count even at 2-2. Outfield for Mount All playing Lindstrom to kind of slap a little bit. Right fielder's playing more straight up. Now he's making his way a little more towards center field. 2-2 is off the plate, and I run it full. Lindstrom's already walked 3 times today. One more ball, and it'll be his 4th. See what he comes with right here. The full count pitch. That's chopped on the ground to first. Should be an easy play for George, and it is. 2 away. Lindstrom's retired for the first time today on the 3 unassisted putout. Here's shortstop Miles Hartsfield. Hartfield's made a couple nice stops out there defensively in the field. He's 0 for 2 at the dish. First pitch to him is a slider in there for called strike 1. It was 0-1. That one runs off the plate, count even at 1-1. Mount All trying to continue their winning ways. And they won the last 4 games that they were at the Conference Carolinas tournament over in Gastonia, North Carolina. Trying to continue that. That one skips up there. Peeled down to third base. He did not go around. This game's also a battle of the winning streak. Mount All's got their mini 4-game winning streak. The Hurricanes of Georgia Southwestern come in with a 8-game winning streak, dating back to their final series of the year against Flagler, and then the 5 games in the conference tournament. 2-1 stays high, 3-1. In fact, the Hurricanes knocked off Young Harris 2 games in a row. Team that North Greenville faithful would be very familiar with. They made their way to Tigerville this year. Very tough team, very tough conference overall. The 3-1, not close, ball 4. That's the first walk issued by Mbimbo. A 2-out walk that brings up Corey Lee. Lee, like many other Hurricane hitters, he's looking for his first hit of the day. He did reach his last time up on a hit by pitch. Takes a first pitch fastball right down the middle, 0-1. Hartsfield takes off for second as a check swing strike. Throw it down to second is way late. Oh, did he come off the bag? Yes, he did. Hartsfield, look, he was in there safely, but then again, playing on the turf, I think he didn't realize he needed to slide just a little bit earlier, and he slid right off the bag. Get another look at it here. He's trying to hold the bag, and yep, foot comes off right there. Go down a sure stolen base. That'll be caught stealing, as Hartsfield's caught stealing for the 6th time this year. Tough way to end it for the Hurricanes. Time to stretch here in Tigerville, South Carolina. Mount Olive leading it 4-0. All right, Mount Olive looking for more as they find themselves up 4-0. Well, at the top of the order, Jeffress, Petrierno, and Casparo. Jeffress took a big hack at that first pitch. McCollum still out there for the Hurricanes. Didn't get on top of that one. Stayed high, 1-1. Jeffress is 1 for 2 on the day. About a 58-foot breaking ball skips up there. Got it the piece of the catcher, Alexander. Jeffress hit came back in the 5th. It was a double. He was also hit by a pitch in the 1st. Two one from McCollum. Downstairs, 3-1. McCollum's only walked one person. That came back in the form of J.T. Stone in the 6th. Pumps that one in there. That one's fouled out of play. Run it full, 3-2. Home go fastball as he go with the breaking ball. Let's see. The pitch came with a fastball and it stayed high. Second free pass of the game for McCollum. Jeffress part of that three-headed monster at the top in terms of stolen bases. He's third on the team with 18 stolen bags. Only been caught 3 times all year. Not a very big lead over there at first. That one's chopped third base side. It is a foul ball. Bobby Dunnigan with an emphatic call down the third base line. It was close because it was definitely hovering around that bag. Would have been a tough play for George Davis over there at third. Look at it. And really tough to tell exactly where that was, but it definitely, from this angle that we have here, appears it was just drifting foul. Here's the 0-1. Good breaking ball on the outside corner, 0-2. Now up 4-0, looking for more. Gonna get a check at Jeffress over there first. Got him with the changeup. Good pitch that time there from Nick McCollum. So here's Jack Casparo. Casparo's 1 for 3 on the day. His one hit coming in the first. One of 9 Trojan hits today. Another check on Jeffress over there first. Chops that one third base. That's going to bounce over to third baseman into left field. Around second is Jeffress on his way to third. Head first slide. He's safe. And moving up to second is Casparo. Heads up play there from Jack Casparo to move up to second base. Again, artificial turf here at Tigerville, South Carolina. Just bounded that one right into the turf. Get another look at that one. He was definitely ahead of the tag. It was just a matter of was he going to be able to hold the base. And he was definitely able to keep that foot on. And another heads-up play there from Casparo. We're going to get a mound visit, the first mound visit of the game for the Hurricanes. They have dual action down there in the bullpen down the right field line. So they have two righties warming up. I haven't seen a move yet. Looks like maybe just to come out here to strategize, and because McCollum is their guy. They will ride him for a long, long time. You're going to see that with this Hurricane squad, especially their first two pitchers. If this result holds, it's going to end up being North Greenville that's going to see the other two-headed monster that the Hurricanes have. Still a couple innings left to play. Get a look at the action down there in the Hurricane bullpen. Being adjourned, there is no change, so he's going to stick with McCollum out there. So we got Jeffers over there at third. He walked. Jack Casbaro over there at second. He singled and advanced to second on the throw. So here's Landon Choboy. And Phil coming in for the Hurricanes. Everybody just around the diamond playing even with the bags. Again, with a turf infield, you don't have to come all the way in. The ball on a grounder will get to you really, really quickly. The 1-0. Good stop there by Alexander. Saved a run. So hitter-friendly cat here for Choboy. Then again, you also want to be careful. The man on deck, JT Stone, leads the Trojans in home runs. Preferably wouldn't want to face him with the bases loaded. 2-0. That's a good pitcher's pitch on the outside corner right there. 2-1. Counted 2-1. Check swing, good stop. Another good stop by Alexander.
.107 pitches. He is up there.
Yeah, the reason why they've got double action down there in the bullpen, I wouldn't be surprised if either his last inning or his last couple hitters here. The 3-1. That's ball four. Came with the breaking ball on 3-1. Not sure if that was just a lack of trust or his fastball, or he just felt better with the breaking ball, but nonetheless it missed. So walk to Jeffress to open things up. He's over at third. Petrino struck out swinging. Casparo singled to left and then advanced to second on the throw, and heads up base running all around by Jeffress and Casparo. And then a free pass issued the Choboy, and that's where we stand with JT Stone. As I mentioned earlier, when he was on deck, he leads the Trojans in home runs with 11. Had a hack at that one, fouled it back. Here's the 0-1. Tried to punch that one down the left field line, but that one's tailing foul. Think that one's getting close to the dorms down there?
I don't think it quite got down there, but
it was close.
Probably not too close. Probably right in between the probably right in between the two. There's a parking lot over there. I bet it's right in the middle of it.
Here's the 0-2. Way off the plate, 1-2. Big spot here in the ball game. 4-0 still manageable. We're getting close towards the end of this one, but Hurricanes need to keep it right here. Coming with a big pitch. The 1-2 is on the ground to second. This could be two. There's one. Throw to first is in time. A huge 4-6-3 double play gets the Hurricanes out of trouble.
To say that they needed that was an understatement.
Very much so. Mount Olive loads the bases on one hit. They had a couple walks and runners erased on the 4-6-3 double play. JT Stone hit it hard. Just happened to be right at Corey Lee. We played 7 here in Tigerville in game 1. 4-0 Mount Olive. Three, 4, and 5 due up for the Hurricanes. Got 6 outs left to try to get at least 4 runs. Or else they'll have a date with number 1 North Greenville later tonight. First pitch breaking ball from Mbimbo is in there. Strike 1. One to Lee is another good breaking ball. That's a pitcher's pitch right there. Corey Lee looked back, just think, are you sure about that one? But it's nonetheless, it was a really good. It looked like a really good pitch. So Mbimbo way out in front, 0-2. See what he elects to do right here. That one missed outside, 1-2. One, 2. Just got a piece of that one. This game has been a game of who can make the most of their opportunities. Both teams have done a pretty good job of leaving guys on base. Mount Olive has just been able to cash in a few runs here and there. Here's the 1-2. Good breaking ball painted on the outside corner. Right 3. So Lee goes down looking. So here's the catcher, Calvin Alexander. And that was the thing. Earlier in the game against Hunter Stevens, Hurricanes had a lot of opportunities. They had a lot of runners on, especially in the early innings. They had 5 walks mixed in with 2 hits as well, and they just couldn't really cash any of them in. Here's the 1-0. That's way high, 2-0. Alexander's 0 for 3 on the day. Flyouts to right in the first and third, and then grounded up to short in the 5th. So it looks to come with the breaking ball. Caught the inside corner, 2-1.
Hurricanes looking for their first hit since back in the 5th inning.
Yep, that was back when Chris Patterson had a 1-out base hit. 2-1 fastball on the outside corner, evens it up at 2-2. Mbimbo, since coming on for Hunter Stevens, has 3 strikeouts. He's 1 pitch away from a 4th. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Shortstop's going to have to come and field it. Jones on the run. Nice play. Joshua Jones fielded that one, the two-hopper. Came in charge and made a nice throw over to first. 2 up, 2 down for the Hurricanes here in the top of the 8th. So here's Reed Ragsdale. Ragsdale is 0 for 3. Ground up to third in the second. He lined out the first, and that play that Cooper George over there at first went way up to get. He also struck out looking in the 6th. Here's the 1-0. Fancy that one, 1-1. Good from Mbembo. He's ready with the 1-1. Sails outside 2-1. Man, for what was thought to be going to be pretty rainy all day, it's definitely settled down and been quite a decent afternoon thus far.
Yes, the best of both worlds. Been overcast all day.
Mm-hmm. Tried to come with a backdoor breaking ball, didn't backdoor it enough. 3-1.
Well, a couple times I have had to leave the broadcast booth. There's still a little bit of moisture in the air, still some mist.
Right.
Guess you could call it that, but yeah, definitely not the rain that we were having earlier today.
There's a free pass issued as Ragsdale trots down to first. So the Hurricanes trying to get a little 2-out rally going here in the top of the 8th. They have 4 outs left to try to get 4 runs. So here's Garrett Bradley. Bradley is officially 0 for 2. He walked in the second, grounded out the short in the 4th, and then reached on that catcher's interference call. Yeah, good old breaking ball there from Mbembo, 0-1. Ragsdale is a threat over there at first base to steal. It's 11 for 11 on the year, not going. Swung on and missed, 0-2. And again, probably when you're down 4-0, you need more than 1 run, so probably going to go station to station. Don't want to try to force anything. Need of something are the Hurricanes. Runner takes off for second. Throw down will not be made. Ragsdale in with his 12th stolen bag of the year. So now a runner in scoring position. Guess he heard me say that they want to play station to station instead. Yeah, we don't want to do that. Here's the 1-2. If the runner's going to take off for third, throw down to third is a little offline. And advancing to third is Ragsdale. So that'll get scored as a wild pitch. You know, it really didn't bounce far from Kenny back there. But it was just enough.
Yeah, and he committed to running early.
Counts at 2-2. Just got a piece of that one to stay alive. Hurricanes 90 feet away, trying to get their first run in this team, making their first ever appearance in an NCAA Division II baseball regional. 2-2 check swing, peel down to third. He did not go around. That'll run it full. If Bradley were to reach, George Davis waits on deck.
Take a look at the replay. Didn't look live that he was anywhere close, and no, he didn't go.
He did not go around. Good call. Good call there, third base umpire Bobby Dunnigan. Here's the full count. That's right there, strike three. I don't know what what Bradley was looking for there, but it was not that. Mbembo challenged him with a fastball, and he got the strike. Strike three. Well, outs are dwindling down. They got 3 outs left. Now they got to go out there and shut down Mount Olive one more time to try to get back in there and keep the deficit at 4. We played 7.5 here in Tigerville. 4-0 North Greenville. Mount Olive. Excuse me. Golly day. First pitch to Cooper George is a called strike. Again, apologies for that slip up there. I'm going to have a lot of Mount Olive people not happy about me with that one. Heated rivalry between those two schools.
No, neither team wants you to mistake them for the other. That's for sure.
I'm going to blame it on the fact that I'm hungry. I'll blame it on that fact. Here's the 0-2. That one's in the left field for a base hit. Cooper George is on fire. 4 for 4 today. Base hits in the 2nd, 4th, a double in the 6th, and now a base hit here in the 8th. So here's Alden Cottle. Cottle's 1 for 3. He followed up Cooper George's double in the 6th inning with a double of his own. He's first pitch swinging. Offs that one out to right field. Bradley's under it. He's got it. 1 away. That'll bring up Joshua Jones. Jones is 0 for 3 on the day. Got to be getting up there in pitch count for McCollum as well. I knew they were going to stick with him, but
he's at 116.
Okay,
he is up there.
Yeah, I was told before the game they would ride with him as far as they could possibly go. That's hit on the ground to short. Runner was moving, so that's going to avoid the double play. Throw over to first is in time. 2 away. Again, if George isn't moving on that one, that one's basically that is a routine 6-4-3 double play. Here's Mike Kinney. Kinney's 2 for 3 on the day. First pitch to him stays high. For the Hurricanes, they'll have the bottom third of the order coming up. Be George Davis, Hegman, and Patterson. One of those right down the middle, even the count up at 1-1.
Tell you what, that matchup tomorrow between North Greenville and Mount Olive is going to be a fun one.
It is. There's a lot of rivalry there. I mean, if you're on Twitter at all and you follow that, it's very fun to watch. It is very, very, very fun.
Just sit back and watch.
Yep. That one slashed down the right field line, but foul.
Yeah, Mount Olive is. I mean, they're proven to be the team to beat. I mean, obviously North Greenville tied currently for #1 in the country with Angelo State, but you know, Mount Olive is sitting there feeling disrespected. I mean, they took care of business in the Conference Carolinas tournament.
Beat North Greenville 2 out of 3.
Yep. Yeah, believe it or not, North Greenville.
That one's up the middle. That one's going to get into center field for a base hit. Around third is George. He is coming plateward, and he will score. Third base hit of the ball game for Mike Kinney.
I was going to say that even with North Greenville's recent, you know, well, not so recent anymore, long-term success in baseball, North Greenville has never won a series at Mount Olive.
Yeah, that definitely seems to be a series that where whoever the home team is definitely seems to have the advantage.
Big-time home field advantage for both teams, definitely.
Are we finally going to get a pitching change? Head coach Chris Patterson rode his right-handed arm for 7 2/3 innings. Got to be over 120 pitches by now.
122. And he's made the call.
He has made the motion down to the bullpen. We'll come back and tell you about the new pitcher as well as give you the numbers on Nick McCallum. We'll be right back.
In to pitch for Georgia Southwestern is a junior from Claremont, North Carolina, number 40, Troy Shepard. Take a look at his numbers, a 9.82 ERA coming in. This will be his 7th appearance of the season, 7 1/3 innings pitched, 8 earned runs, 5 walks, and 6 strikeouts.
The day is done for starter Nick McCallum after 122 pitches. Gives up 5 runs, 12 hits. Did walk a couple as well. Gutsy performance from him. We knew going in he was probably going to be the ride or die for as long as possible. And he went 7 2/3 innings. The way this game's going, unless the Hurricanes can mount a comeback, he was 1 out away from pitching a complete game for them.
And yeah, I do want to make it clear for tomorrow's game, that is, you know, with Mount Olive, assuming that the results hold up.
Yes.
That's, you know, definitely not trying to get too far ahead of ourselves.
Right, you're right. If the results
But whenever North Greenville plays Mount Olive, it's always a good game. That was the point we're trying to make.
To play them at some point.
Yes, exactly. Just a matter of whether it'll be coming up next or tomorrow. North Greenville plays in both of those games, no matter what.
Shepard's first pitch in there is a called strike. See what he comes with here on 0-1. Sidewinder misses inside. Definitely seeing a lot more of those guys at the college level, guys that kind of have that funky arm angle from the side. Definitely with the movement on it, can be tough to hit.
Yeah.
Count even at 1-1. That one clips the outside corner.
Yeah, I remember the first time I ever saw a sidewinder pitch, and it's just like, is this allowed? it's unreal how they get velocity behind the ball. I still don't understand. It's unreal.
Crazy. Remember the first one I faced, I was actually throwing like really hard. I was like, how am I going to face like a guy throwing upper 80s and sidewinder? It's just impossible. Here's the 1-2. Like, you'll see some of those guys that kind of throw it like soft, like Shepard out there. Kind of like let it dance a little bit. But then when you get those guys that throw sidearm and they'll kind of cut in on you and they throw hard. Whew. Two count to Jeffries. to him. Ran inside, nearly clipped him. That'll run it full. And with that, Kenny over there at first will be off with the pitch. Here's the 3-2. That's outside, ball 4. So that's 2 men on now for Vito Paterno. Paterno looking for his first hit of the day. He's officially 0 for 4. Struck out swinging in his last 2 plate appearances. Those coming, of course, against Nick McCollum. He's still responsible for Mike Kinney out there at second base. That one skips up there, but Alexander able to keep that one in front of him. Count at 1-0. Sidewinder kicks and fires, and that's right there. Count even at 1-1. Comes in a fastball just off the outer half, 1-2. Could be 2-1. 2-1. That's chopped. Gonna be a play for Hartsfield. He'll fire over to first base and gets him by half a step. Mount picks up yet another run. They add to their 4-0 lead to make it 5-0. Last call. Uh-oh. Appears we're going to hold everything. Looks like we may get a challenge. I'm a little bit surprised, partner. It appears like from up here, he got him by a good at least half step.
Yeah, didn't.
Look at it.
That's close. Got him.
Yeah, it is a little bit closer than I thought it was, but from that angle right there, it looks like he got him by a little bit. It was a little more bang. Up here, look, he got him by about half a step here, and we are going to get a challenge. Tough to tell exactly when the spot of the cleat kind of touches onto the base. But from that angle that we have, it looks like he's out. But.
Yeah, on the last angle, the one we're looking at right now, it looked like his foot, looked like the ball was in the glove before his foot got there, but we'll find out for sure in just a moment.
I would agree with you, partner, but, the last 2 times I've done replay, I could have sworn it's like, okay, maybe there wasn't enough, but then they come out and they say,
Well, Georgia Southwestern is pretty confident that it's going to stand because they're out in the field ready to go.
Well, if the call is upheld, it'll be into the inning.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They'll be in. So.
Yeah. So right now,
well, the outfielders are not in the outfield. They're all just hanging out in the infield.
Well, I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to run all out there just to have to come back.
Right. so they're pretty confident that they're going to be coming into the dugout.
Honestly, that sounds more like a older men's league softball type thing. I don't want to run out there, so I'm just going to stay here. Here come the umpires. And he's out. Call on the field is confirmed. And that indeed retires the side for the Trojans. Final call for the Hurricanes. They need 5 to keep this one going. Final call for the Hurricanes. And need 5 runs here in the top of the 9th at least to keep this one going. Or else Mount Olive will advance to tomorrow's 7:30 game against North Greenville. First pitch on the ground short. Nice stop there by Jones. Long throw across the diamond is not in time. So there's a base hit for the Hurricanes. Their first since the 5th inning. Here's Paul Hegman. Paul's 0 for 3 on the day. And that infield base hit there for Davis. Just the 3rd hit of the ball game for the Hurricanes. With a backdoor breaking ball for a strike. Chris Patterson waits on deck, 9-hole hitter. Has one of those 3 Hurricane hits. Out there, catcher can't find it, but it's not going to be enough for Davis to advance. Again, down 5. Of course, the run matters, but at the same time, it's like you need more base runners. You're going to need at least 5 guys on base. Try to push them all across. No need to try to get into a senseless out at second base, especially with nobody out. The 1-1. Fastball outside, 2-1. To Hegman. The breaking ball that's ripped down the right field line, but foul. That evens the count up at 2-2. Two. Skip it there. Good stop there by Kenny, but the count runs full at 3-2. Take them any way you can get them if you're the Hurricanes. That one's inside, ball 4. After that, we're going to get a mound visit, and it appears that Ethan Mbembo's day is done. And great job in relief from Mbembo. We'll come back and tell you about the new Mount Olive pitcher. They're on top 5-0, but the Hurricanes have 2 runners on. New pitcher for the Trojans, number 34, Justin Kohler. Get a look at his numbers right there. This is his 22nd appearance on the year. He does have 3 starts to his name. 3.58 ERA, 1.22 WHIP, 3-1 record. 37 2/3 innings pitched, 33 hits, 18 runs, 15 of which earned, 13 walks, 31 strikeouts. Opponents batting at .241 off number 34, Justin Kohler. He'll inherit 2 runners on. Davis over there singled. And then he got Paul Hageman over at first, who had that walk a moment ago. You mentioned it several times on the broadcast. I'll mention it again. Loser of this one has to turn around in about an hour or so time after the conclusion of this one. Again, we're scheduled for a 7:30 first pitch between North Greenville and the loser of this one. As we're scheduled for a 7:30 first pitch tomorrow with North Greenville and the winner of this one. Course of results hold. Barring a 9th inning rally from the Hurricanes, they'll have to turn around and fight for their lives, try to remain in the regional. Mount Olive will advance to tomorrow to face North Greenville. Again, these two teams coming into this one, not a home run has been hit yet thus far. But both these teams combined have hit 94 home runs. North Greenville, who you'll see later tonight, defending national champions, they'll try to defend their crown. They have a team, just them alone, has 89 home runs on the year. So if the results you hold, and you'll see the Hurricanes and Crusaders, there'll be 2 drastically different styles of offenses. Here's we're ready now. The first pitch from Kohler is right there, strike 1. Patterson's 1 for 3 on the day. His hit coming in the 5th. Again, one of only 3 hits for the Hurricanes thus far. Still looking for their first run at NCAA Regional. Making their first ever NCAA Regional D2 appearance. Here's the 0-1. With the breaking ball missed downstairs, 1-1. Still got a lot of work to do, but if you can get Patterson on, you can kind of feel the Hurricane faithful who've been kind of sitting on their hands, who have made the trek from Southwest Georgia. The 1-1. Fouled at the plate, 1-2. Again, there was a lot of traffic early on for the Hurricanes. Took a little bit of time for Mount Olive starter Hunter Stevens to get into a groove. Hurricanes had opportunities in the first 2 innings. And of course, over the first 3 innings, there were 5 walks and 2 hits, but they couldn't bring anyone home. That one's hit on the ground to second. It could be 2, but it's bobbled and misplayed. Caspero over at second. Look, it was a sure thing for a 4-6-3 double play, but it just glanced right off his glove, and everybody's safe. So that'll go down as an E4. Second error of the ball game. So that'll get things back to the top of the order for Jake Blindstrom. Jake's officially 0 for 1 in the game. He did walk 3 times. So bases loaded, nobody out. Pumps a fastball on the inside corner. Kohler got to refocus here, try to pick up his teammate. Here's the 0-1. This ball clips the outside corner quickly, 0-2. Kohler's got a lot of room to work with. See what he comes with right here. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball, just got a piece of that, did Blindstrom. Count remains 0-2. Bases full of Hurricanes. Davis at third, Hegman at second, Patterson at first. The 0-2. That's off the plate. Davis reached on infield single. Hegman had a really good at bat. Found himself on with a walk. Patterson reached on the E4. Here's the 1-2. Hit on the ground first base side, but foul. Lindstrom has been punched out 29 times this year. I would love to make that 30 as that one's fouled off of his, probably inside of his foot, maybe a little bit of the ankle, maybe the knee. Tough to tell where that got him exactly. Count still sits at 1-2. Hurricanes trying to keep things going. The 1-2. That's off the plate, 2-2. In the bottom third of the order, that's really, if anything's gotten the hits on Mount Olive pitching day, all three guys at the bottom of the order are responsible for the 3 hits for the Hurricanes. That one's downstairs, run it full. Great at bat thus far from Lindstrom. Don't look now, but the tying run is on deck in the form of Miles Hartsfield. Will he come up with it with the bases loaded? That one sent out to left field. Going back is Patierno. He's still going back. Finally makes the catch. Tagging from third is Davis. He will score. And the Hurricanes are on the board. So now runners at first and second. Here's Miles Hartsfield. Tying run still remains in the on-deck circle. But the Hurricanes are at least on the scoreboard. Comes with first pitch breaking ball, does Kohler. Count at 0-1. Hartfield's 0 for 2 on the day. He has walked twice. That one's hit a ton out to right field. All the outfielders can do is watch that one sail on out of here. Miles Hartsfield sends one out to right center field, and we got a 1-run ball game. Hartsfield just his second home run of the year. RBIs number 25, 26, and 27. Hurricanes coming to life. There's still only one out here in the top of the 9th. Here's Corey Lee. That one's in there on the inside corner. Hurricane crowd that came all the way from the southwest portion of Georgia. They're coming to life here. 4 runs here in the top of the 9th inning. That one's ripped out to left center field. That one's going to get out towards the gap. Trying to cut it off is Patierno. He will. Good job there from Vito Patierno to keep that one from splitting the gap. Here's Rob Watts going to make his way out to the mound. Not exactly what he was looking for there from Justin Kohler. Just a little bit of a rough outing. And we got the tying run on base. Got a little bit of life nonetheless for the Hurricanes. We'll come back in a moment. We'll tell you about the new Trojan pitcher. We got a ball game here in Tigerville.
New pitcher on the mound for Mount Olive is number 5, Hayden Myrick, a junior from Clayton, North Carolina, 6 feet tall, 185. He has been solid on the year, a 2.02 ERA, 3-2 on the season, his 27th appearance on the year. That leads the team. Has 3 saves on the season, 35 2/3 innings pitched, 8 earned runs allowed, 12 walks, 32 strikeouts, and opponents batting .215 against him. And this is obviously a save situation now.
Yeah, that 3-run home run from Miles Hartsfield. And a team that doesn't hit many home runs, that's just their 38th on the year. That was a big one. It seemed to reignite this team. Now a base hit to left field by Corey Lee just kind of really gotten things going. Now they have the tying run on base. They have the go-ahead run at the plate.
Yep. I think the Hurricanes heard me say when we play Mount Olive tomorrow. When North Greenville plays Mount Olive tomorrow, they have other plans.
Yeah, you can't call it till the fat lady sings. 27th out seems to be so hard to come by. His first pitch to Calvin Alexander is on the outside corner, 0-1.
But here's the thing, even if Georgia Southwestern comes up short, what a fight that they have in this inning. This is,
if anything, you can carry some momentum at least into the next
yeah,
game.
definitely. They've got momentum on their side. You know, even if they come up short, you know, their coach is going to tell them, hey, you know, you guys put up a great fight, didn't give up. You're going to take this momentum right into the next game.
They're not thinking about that right now. There's only one out, and there's a runner on. That one's nubbed out towards center field.
This is
Coming
trouble.
in is Jeffers. He's slowing now, and he will make the grab. Hit that one just a little bit too high, did Alexander. Now the final hope for the Hurricanes is Reed Ragsdale. Ragsdale's the 8th man to come to the plate in the inning. Of course, with 2 outs, now playing that no doubles defense. Can't let anything get over your head. Like you see on your screen, 0 for 3 on the day. Did walk an inning ago. First pitch swinging, that one's back to the net. Counted 0-1. That one's on the outside corner. That was a good running fastball, just kind of dashed towards the outside corner. Now the Hurricanes are down to their last strike. it is, the 0-2. Just off the outside corner. For Ragsdale, if you want to try to bring home Corey Lever first, anything maybe towards the left center field gap or down the lines, anything else will probably be tough. That one's nubbed right to the third baseman, Cottle. He'll go the short way to second, and that will do it. Mount Olive takes care of business. Things got interesting in the top of the ninth inning. But nonetheless, a win is a win, and they move into the winner's bracket here in the Tigerville Regional. Final tally. Hurricanes 4 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. Mount Olive 5 runs on 12 hits, 2 errors. Ball game that took 2 hours and 58 minutes to play. Again, as Mount Olive proves to 1-0. Georgia Southwestern moves 0-1, and they will indeed hook up with North Greenville later tonight. Roughly or so, it's listed as 7:30 start. I think we're probably going to be right on there. That's about an hour or so from now. Of course, you get a total here. Looks like the decisions are going to go to the starting pitchers. That's right. Ethan Mbimbo is going to get the win. He came out in relief. And then getting a loss is Nick McCollum. McCollum falls to 9-3 on the year. Yeah, a win is a win for the Trojans for sure. Things got a little dicey in the end there, but nonetheless, they were able to come away with the victory, and they will be in driver's seat, arguably, per se, as they get ready to face North Greenville tomorrow. Now, they'll be left to be determined what that'll mean. And for those of you that are new to this 3-team regional type deal here that we have at the Division II, let me tell you, that means Georgia Southwestern will have to come back, as I mentioned earlier, in about an hour or so. They'll hook up with the number 1 team, North Greenville. If they can win that one, they'll stay alive, and then North Greenville will be fighting to stay alive tomorrow night against Mount Olive. If North Greenville does take care of business tonight against Georgia Southwestern, that game tomorrow night against Mount Olive will be game 1 of what will be a glorified best-of-3 series. So, again, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Timothy Holcomb alongside Alan Cahaley, producer Will Cahaley back in the studio. We'll see you in about an hour's time from now. Don't go too far.